Alright guys, welcome back to this channel. My name is Oluwale, and in this video I'm going to talk about something very important as regards Google Ads. One of the most commonest questions people ask me all the time is, how do I get a threshold account? People request for $500 threshold account, $350 threshold account, and so on. And then one major thing I've observed about this request is that much of these people that request for threshold accounts, they are not in a country that supports threshold accounts. And most of them, they are supposed to be using manual payment and debit card in their Google Ads account, but they want to benefit from using a threshold account so that they can run advert and pay after they have spent certain amount of money in their Google Ads account. So I want to address this very quick in this video so that you have a very good understanding before you go ahead and start using threshold account to advertise for your business. Now, I titled this particular video, the important things you need to know about Google Ads threshold account, and I have 4 of them which I'm going to talk about in this short video. And the first one I'll be talking about in this video is what you see on my screen. Not a very good payment option for debit card users. Now, there's one important thing I want you to understand about Google Ads threshold account. You have different payment options available on Google Ads depending on the country you are. If you are in the USA, for example, you have multiple options. You might be able to pay with check, you might be able to pay with credit card, you might be able to pay with PayPal, and so on. But for some countries like Nigeria, for example, the only options available is monthly invoicing and payment with your credit or debit card. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, a lot of Nigerians don't have access to credit cards. So you would actually be using debit card to pay for your ads. And in one of Google Ads policy, you cannot use a debit card for automatic payment. So if you are trying to advertise and you are using automatic payment in your account and you are trying to use debit card to make payment for such account, you might realize that the card will be declined and you will not be able to pay for your advert. And another thing is that apart from declination, you might start seeing something like suspicious payment in your account. And this is because you are trying to use a debit card for your automatic payment account. And you know, one of the advantages of automatic payment is that you have access to threshold that you can use to advertise your business. So this is one of the things you need to know before you go ahead and using automatic payment or threshold account for your Google Ads. And the second one I want to talk about now is you can easily accumulate debt if you are using threshold account. Some of them, if they have access to maybe $300 threshold, and they can use that to advertise their business. People who normally will be using $10 per day to advertise their business, because they have access to $300 threshold, they go ahead and set it at $100 per day. And at the end of the day, they accumulate debt and they don't have the option, or they don't want to pay and they abandon that account. At the end of the day, you start seeing them having problem with Google account suspension repeatedly. And this is another thing you need to know before you go ahead and use a threshold account if you want to advertise on Google. And the third one I have here is it may encourage careless management of your campaign. This is absolutely true, because I see people complaining my account is not performing, my campaign is doing this and that. And at the end of the day, you realize the reason is because they don't put the strength, the effort necessary for them to manage the account, to manage the campaign efficiently so that they can get the result they are looking for. So because they are using threshold account, they have access to certain amount of money that they can use to advertise before making payment. They just go ahead and set up the campaign. Some even forget that they set up this campaign, and at the end of the day, they waste the money and also they don't manage the account. And these are some of the people that you see complaining that Google Ads is not driving the result they are looking for. So you see, if you want to use threshold account to advertise your business on Google Ads, make sure you take note of these 3 important tips. And the next one, which I'm going to talk about in this video, is using a threshold account may lead to account suspension. This has been happening to a lot of people on Google Ads platform. When you want to start advertising on Google, probably you are lucky to get a threshold account, and maybe Google give you option to spend about $350 before making payments. So some people, because of their carelessness and maybe because accumulating debt without getting the results they're looking for, they end up abandoning the account after spending certain amount of money. Maybe they spent $300 out of $350, and because they realize they are not getting the result, they abandon their account and they are looking for another threshold account that they can use to advertise their business. So at the end of the day, Google give them some grace period to clear their debt in their previous account, but because these people think they can go ahead and get another threshold account and bypass the system so that they can continue using free money to advertise their business, before you know anything, Google will start suspending their account. And this type of people, if you create 10 accounts, you might realize even before you start advertising, the account will be suspended. And this is one of the things you might experience if you are using automatic payment on Google. That is, you are using threshold account. I hope you've learned something in this video. If you have any question as regards this threshold issue, don't forget to ask me, and I will do everything possible to address every single question. And again, if you want to work with me, I'm open to taking some challenges. I will work with you if you are in the adult niche, if you are in the third-party tech services, or you want me to manage your account, optimize your campaign, and help you get good results from your Google ads. Feel free to contact me via my website, www.ojasweb.com. I'll be looking forward to working with you. Once again, bye-bye.